Hey guys, it's Ren. Welcome to a new video. Today I just want to talk about idols and idolatry and everything like that of the sort. So this is a bit of like an unplanned video, but I really had this like in the back of my mind for the last couple of days, like just idolatry, like what does that mean and everything. So I'm not the most eloquent person, so bear with me, but idolatry, what is it? Idolatry is basically anything that puts an image or a thing above God, something you can obsess over, something you just a compulsion to just go to it. You idolize it, of course. It can be anything. It can be any sort of. It can be a person. It can be a thing. Just like things you do, like actions. For example, when I was a kid, I would most likely say that I idolized games and forms of escapism as a child. Not to say that you can't, like, oh, you can't play video games, you can't read a book, but I did it to the extent where I just did not want to face reality, and I just wanted to be anywhere but where I actually was, which is, present, right here. And so it's caused me to just, like, have a lot of, like, social, like, I was very awkward. I was, like, never wanted to be, like, in a social situation, and it was, like, made me, like, a very awkward person for a long time. I had anxiety and stuff. I just ignored reality because I would rather play video games, and like I would get out of like school and the first thing I would do is, I'm gonna go play this game. And I was like, and that was me for years, guys. Like, it's crazy the amount of time I wasted obsessing over this stupid game that now I don't even think about. I'm like, oh yeah, that was fun, but like now I realize I could have been working on like a sport or an instrument or just like something that was rewarding and fulfilling. Yeah, it was definitely something that was like I just thought of it was obsessive. And even my parents were like, oh, like it's basically your God because like all you do is that. And I felt uncomfortable when I said that because I think that was like the conviction of like the Holy Spirit. It was like, oh, I think since that point I just like stopped the game so much, like, it just like hit me. And ever since when I was like a child and I would play a lot of games every day, I really like backed down on games. Now I play them like once every in a while. I didn't play them for like years, and then in like July I found out about like itch.io, like free like indie games and stuff. I was like, oh, they're fun. So like I would play them for a while. I was playing them like 5 hours a day, and for me that's not a lot, but for me that's a lot, sorry, but for you it might not be a lot. But it's like things that we are placed, spending time with God, or just like being present in the moment. I think it's just like weird because I think the mind does like mental gymnastics to rationalize, oh, it's okay, like you keep going while you're doing that, it's okay. But at the end of the day, it's never okay. It's never okay to have an idol, something that takes over your life essentially, and that causes you to have like a foggy mind that's like, oh, it's okay, I'm gonna go play more video games, I'm gonna go ruin my sleep schedule more so I can get this goal. Like, why would you do that to yourself? And it's not to be like, how dare you, but just genuinely, what is the goal of doing this? Because it's not gonna better you. You're gonna feel like crap after, and you have like that clarity of like, oh, I don't feel good. Other examples, like from like age 13 to 18, and even now I struggle on like weight. My whole channel was about the weight loss and the eating less and less, and it's like a totally sick mindset. And then like this thing that totally absorbs everything you do, you act, you say, just like self-talk. You say like, oh, you're not good enough because you're not a certain size or you're not a certain weight, and this totally is exhausting. And it's like you don't like want to trust God in this manner. You just kind of push him away, like, no, I'll deal with this on my own time. And it's like, no, you have to be honest with God. You have to bring these things to God and ask for help, ask for you have to repent, and just really get the core of like, why are you struggling with this? A lot of the time it's just like you don't trust God. You box God into what he can do, and you just feel like alone. You think he can't have a hand over your situation, but he most certainly can. And also, like, for me, I really got into, like, as a kid I liked Percy Jackson a lot, something like the fantastical element. But the thing is, it's not fantastical at the end of the day. It's taking historical, like mythological gods and stuff. Yeah, and personally, I think how I feel conviction personally, I feel like antsy, I feel like agitated, I'll do something, and I'm like, oh, you know, I start getting the mental gymnastics, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do this, maybe like, oh no, but it's okay, and then I'm like, wait, but I probably shouldn't be doing this, like, I don't feel at ease. I think that's the main, like, if you don't feel at ease, please, why am I sure like this, sorry, please, like, take a moment, sit back, like, why? So yeah, I read Percy Jackson, last summer in June, and the first series, first like 5 books I think, in like a week and a half, and like 2 weeks, a week and a half, I don't know, doesn't matter, not to flex, but I read it, and like it's cool, but also keep in mind that everyone has their own personal convictions, certain times. For me, I just really have to like lay off on like mythology and stuff, because that stuff, like, it gets in your mind, and yeah, I think for sure the devil knows like how to like get you and like your interest, and how to, sorry, I have a hair tie on my hand, just a fiddle, how to like essentially take over your thoughts and stuff, because I got to Percy Jackson, and then I was like, okay, I was pretty certain that like I wouldn't want to get into Greek mythology again. I was like, okay, I just want to like reread it, close that chapter of my life where I was like a kid, and like this is all I thought about, because I really like Percy Jackson, guys. Like, you don't understand. Like, I bought like the demigods like handbook thing, like a blue book. I got like the 2 fully illustrated, like not fully, but like the picture books of like the mythology. The big ones are like $40 each, like, yeah. And I remember my mom was just like when I was like 14, you know, you're reading about demons, right? And I was just like, what? And that feeling stuck with me, like the disgust and like, oh, like just that unease stuck with me for years, guys. Like, I can't even like consume Percy Jackson, like I just like, oh, so it's just this sick feeling. And I was like, am I offending God? Am I offending myself, my thoughts? So yeah, and then guys, Epic the musical. Guys, this is how the world gets you. This is how, like, no, truly, not to be like conspiracy, but like Epic took over. Like, not that bad, but like it was okay. So for context, last year when I was entering college, I was like, I want to be like in a fandom or something, and then I discovered Epic the musical like in a a video. I was like, Epic the musical, what is this? And they're like, oh, it's the Odyssey, but like musical. And I was like, oh my days. So I listened to it and I was like, oh yeah. And from like October of 2023 to December, no, honestly, till like maybe like August, I'll tell you why. To August, I was like listening to it. I was like there for all the drops. I was like, yes, yippee. But guys, the more I thought of it, the more I was like, yo, it's like the Percy Jackson thing. And yeah, you can be like, oh, but it's like based on the Odyssey, it's just like, you know. But honestly, I started feeling like embarrassed and like I want to hide it from God. That is a horrible feeling, guys. Like, sorry, shame. This, it's shame. You feel like ashamed for what you're doing. You know what's wrong. And so for months, like at first I was like, whatever. And then I would rationalize it by when I was listening, I would be like agitated. But I was like, no, guys, I'm just anticipating like the beat drop. Guys, we can't do gymnastics around our actual actions. Like, we can't rationalize offending God. Oh, you can't. Like, I don't know, just. And then sometimes I'm just like, sorry, my computer just turned off. And then I'm like, did Jesus really die for me to do this? No. So basically, yeah, and I was drawing fan art, and particularly like August to September, I was like, I just like fell out of it. And I don't know, just like hearing like the names of the Greek gods, and I was like getting more and more comfortable, and more just like I want to like distance myself. So I told myself, once the final drop of like which saga is it? Ithaca Saga, thank you. Ithaca Saga drops, I'm gonna like just distance myself from epic and Greek mythology and stuff, because when I was like maybe 16, I was like, God, like help me to just take like a interest in like from a historical perspective on like mythology, and so it's not just like entertainment, because once it becomes entertainment, it becomes like fun. And why is witchcraft? Why is idolatry fun? Why is worshiping demons fun? No. So yeah, and I might have it still saved on my Spotify. I will have to go unlike it. Obviously I have total respect for Jay and all the team. I've drawn fan art, like obviously I really like the fandom, but no, I can't anymore. Like, it's uncomfortable. So the conviction's really stuck with me. And yeah, and once I had like I was doing like the last stream of like the Ithaca Saga, I was like, like I didn't feel comfortable. It was like less fun. I was happy to hear the songs, but like it wasn't the same as if it had been like a year ago. So yeah, I think it's just a clear sign that's like just shouldn't be associating with these things anymore. Yeah, I'm not gonna say like, no, I'll never look into like stuff again. Like, yeah, I might be like, oh, what's this about? But I think just distancing myself from that fandom, Percy Jackson, just like all those things. Like, okay, I'm not gonna go say like it's evil, like to like go like, oh, what's happening with this? But like, I don't want to say like I'm never gonna listen to it ever again. I might. Like, the challenge is still a fire song. But yeah, I think just definitely how I view things is changing. And yeah, so, but I am very thankful, because once you realize that you're in a state that's like totally just like wrong, you can act on it, and you can just plan how to deal with it better. Also by like talking with God. And guys, please, if you even have like an inkling of like, oh, this could be an idol, like this could be something that's like really just in my life, that's like, you know, just talk about it with God, reflect on it, please meditate, please reflect, please, bro, please. Yeah, and also right now I've been dealing with music, because I have like headphones and I listen to music throughout the day. And guys, music truly affects how you think. Just like, it's like a side note. Oh my days, guys, music, like, it affects how you think, your behavior, your inner thoughts. Guys, please. Yeah, so maybe I'll do a video if you are interested in like music and like secular music. I'm not saying it's evil. Don't get me wrong. But guys, just be careful. I think it's my main message. Be careful what you give attention to, what you praise, to the level of like joy things bring you, happiness rather, not joy, because it's only joy in Jesus and what he can provide for you and what he gives you, you know. Yeah, so I think that's all from me for today. Just a quick video. Even if this helps one person genuinely, please like let me know if this helped you. Yeah, I'm gonna go I'll read you guys some Bible verses about idolatry. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this is just like a website, Crossway, but it's very helpful if you need like certain Bible verses on like idolatry, on like, say, lust, sloth, anything. So don't be afraid to just, you know, because not everyone has a concordance for like a Bible glossary. I don't have that. You might in the first part of your Bible, but like, don't be afraid, don't be embarrassed. Okay. Galatians 4:8-9. Formerly, when you did not know God, you were enslaved to those that by nature are not God's. But now that you have come to know God, or rather to be known by God, how can you turn back again to the weak and worthless elementary principles of the world? whose slaves you want to be once. Literally like a pig returning to its vomit. No, we can't do that. Let's ask for God's help on every situation. Habakkuk 2:18. What profit is an idol when its maker has shaped it, a metal image, a teacher of lies? That's a powerful. For its maker trusts in his own creation when he makes speechless idols. We give power to these worthless objects. These objects are deceptive. Like, it's disgusting. Romans 1:21-23. For although they knew God, they did not honor him as God or give thanks to him, but they became futile in their thinking, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Claiming to be wise, they became fools, and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images resembling mortal man and birds and animals and creeping things. Like, also, a thing I don't get about Greek mythology, guys. How are they gonna make these gods that reflect humanity, but like in like every way? Because we know that God is perfect and all his actions are justified and they're true. He has righteous anger, not just anger because no, like righteous anger at like injustice and people being taken advantage of, and then he will act. And I don't know, just something about like worshiping like these Greek gods and whatever other religion that's like, why would I listen to you? These idols, we trust in them over God. We trust in them to give us power and strengthen us, but they can't do anything. It's a stupid little nothing. Like, it's nothing. It's so void of power. Like, boom. 1 Corinthians 10:14. Therefore, my beloved, flee from idolatry. Please flee, guys, please. Don't stay like, oh no, don't rationalize it. Please don't rationalize it. The second you start thinking, oh, this isn't right, guys. Yeah. Also, guys, let's keep our commandments, guys. Let's keep our commandments. You shall have no other God but me. Like, come on. That's it. That's really what I want to talk about today. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye.